Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sprint Duathlon European Championships and the biggest event that's ever arrived in Târgu. In fact, we are pretty sure it's the biggest event that's ever come to the region. Nearly 2,000 athletes racing a variety of events over a period of about 10 days. But this is the first time we've taken something like this to the city centre, which was closed down for the entire race for the Sprint Duathlon. In the elite women, we have the defending European and World Champion Sandra Levenes from France, and she's racing against Sandrine Illes from Austria. Illes has raced at the middle distance and the longer distance, and now she's dropping right down to sprint to see how her pace will fare on this very tight closed circuit. With her will be Irene Lozate from Spain. We have a whole range of athletes from a variety of countries taking their position on the start line. And for this race, we're going to mix the elite, the under-23s, and the juniors. It will be a short run, a short bike, and an even shorter run to finish. Right from the start, Illes explodes out of the starting area. And they head now down towards the cathedral for the dead turn. The temperature is rising. It's about 30 degrees in downtown Târgu. The group is close together. We heard from the athletes that the temptation to run hard was there, and for the juniors and some of the younger under-23 athletes, they were pushing themselves really hard in that first run, keeping up with the better and stronger elite. It was at this point that Illes broke away. She was testing the group. She did this exactly the same at the ETU Powerman race 2 years ago in Vejle in Denmark, and again this year in Viborg. On this occasion, though, she's caught up by the group. But now she knows their strengths and weaknesses. Levenes is really the one who's the threat here. Austria, Spain and France leading the bike. In no man's land there. Nobody to draft off, nobody to work with. 20 kilometers out on the bike on this very, very hot, very, very exciting closed circuit racing. Into transition now, and the leaders desperately trying to make no mistake. Any equipment discarded outside the box will result in a penalty, and they're off. On this final section of the race is a 2.5 kilometer run. And it is Lozate from Spain who attacks, pushing the pace, breaking away there from Sandrine Illes. And behind her, chasing from Spain, is Sonia Bejarano. The crowds have gathered. The cheers and the applause is there for the winner of the race, all the way down to the finish line now. 8 minutes and 8 seconds for that final 2.5k, and it is Irene Lozate from Spain to take the title ahead of Sandrine Illes from Austria. And behind, Sonia Bejarano from Spain. Great Spanish performance here, taking 2 medals on the elite podium. Fantastic performance there from the Spanish with 2 medals on the podium. But for Sandra Levenes from France, disappointment. The world and junior European champion has to settle for a 5th place.
Good.
Were the Spanish going to have more medal success in the under-23 category? Well, we didn't have to wait too long. Because crossing the finish line and taking the title in the under-23 age group, it was Marta Pintanel from Spain. And the silver medal in the under-23 category goes to Claudia Colsall from Great Britain. For the under-23 champion, she was able to give us a few words after the race, saying that this is my first European Championships, and in fact my first time outside of Spain. I'm really proud to be here representing my country because it's my first year as an under-23 athlete. I was absolutely thrilled to be competing amongst the best of them. I came here race fit. I prepared myself well for the championship and I really felt ready for the race. The race was really fast, the run was fast. I was in a group of French and Spanish athletes, they were fast. I stayed on the chase group and I'm really happy. The city is beautiful. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. The multi-lap format is really good and the city is wonderful.
We are from the Netherlands. We are here with 4 girls, 1 junior. She did very, very good. It's a very nice city, very big, with a lot of beautiful buildings and a lot of nice people. We screamed very, very hard for it. It was amazing.
It was amazing to race here. It's a beautiful country and it was a very hard race.
I'm a proud coach, very proud coach.
So with the excitement from the women's race, we now move on to the elite men's race, which will incorporate as well the under-23 and junior athletes. A massive start list. 37 athletes will be making their way down from the transition area to take their position on the start line in front of the Palace of Culture in downtown Târgu. The athletes will be introduced with the elite going first, the under-23s and then the juniors. Temperature is up in the 30s, really hot. And it's going to be a 5k run, 20k bike, and then a 2.5k run to finish. Our commentator Yuval from Israel, keeping the crowds happy, keeping the crowds alive. We've got some real top names here today. We've got our defending European champion. We've got our world champion. Defending European champion is Johan Lebert from France. Our world champion is Benjamin Choquer from France. Watch out for Vorontsov there, the Ukrainian athlete. Racing as a junior, he manages to get a really good result. We'll see how that unfolds as the race goes on.
ETU Duathlon European Championship. Let's welcome the technical official, Benjamin Choquer.
So Benjamin Choquer from France there, the world champion and runner-up in the Europeans last year, is racing against the legendary Emilio Martin from Spain. World champion in 2012 in Nancy, world champion 2015 in Adelaide, European champion 2017, and he was the runner-up in Pontevedra this year, just behind Choquer. Watch out for Miguel there from Portugal. He will give us a final sprint to the line, but where will he get a medal? Will he get a medal? Will he be on the podium?
Now for the junior men 81 from Romania, Eric Rodos Lorich. 89 from Belgium, Gianni Vandenbroek. 83 from the Netherlands, Jaime Vogt. 84 from Ukraine, Vitaly Vorontsov. 85 from Poland, Mateusz Wanker. 86 from Slovenia, Jacob Mamic.
So the final few athletes introduced onto the start line. Once the introductions are over, the athletes are held on the start line. And we got a full start there from Johan Lebert from France. He anticipated the start, took a stride forwards. That's going to be a penalty later on. As for the women's race, they run down towards the cathedral, turn around and come back. And right from the very start, Choquer is taking control of the race. Martin from Spain keeping him under close observation there, and Angelo Fontecastel from Belgium making sure he has a clear run at the front. Vorontsov has managed to stay with that leading group. The junior athlete is tucked inside that leading group.
versenyzők a mai nap utolsó megmérettetésén Dalvásnál,
So Shocker leading them. All of the potential in that group. Another dead turn at the Orthodox Cathedral. And back they come. Shocker comfortably leading them, relaxed. Taking water on board at the aid station. 30 degrees of heat out there, and there was no breeze in the city centre at all. As we can see, the difference in strength, those elite athletes with a couple of under-23s and one junior in that leading group have broken away from the other athletes. The pace was really, really fast, and it was beginning to hurt some of the athletes. We saw that with the women's race, where one of the British athletes decided to try and keep with the leaders, suffered later on the bike. So still comfortably at the front, Shocker, Van der Kasteel, Martin. Lebert, knowing that he has a penalty to serve later on. The design of the course really meant that the spectators could get so very close to the athletes and really experience that electricity, the excitement of the race at the front end. A whole team of guys out there to make sure the course was safe, waiting for the bike to start. Still that leading group of just under 20 athletes. The age group athletes have raced in the morning. They too have been racing on this closed circuit in a draft legal race. First time that ETU, European Triathlon Union, has had age group draft legal racing over the Duathlon course. And they stayed by to watch the elite under 23 and junior athletes race for the medals. That leading group still getting the advantage, keeping the pace high. After the final dead turns, the athletes will be coming into transition, desperately hoping not to make any mistakes. Any discarded equipment, any mounting the bike before the mount line will result in a penalty. Penalties will lose them the race. At this pace, these elite athletes, under 23s and juniors, a 10-second penalty will absolutely stop the race. So, taking on water, they head down towards the Orthodox Cathedral for the final turn. Still that leading group. Shocker in command. So the officials now getting ready for the first of the transitions. Athletes are onto the blue carpet, down to their bike positions. We'll get to see just how fast a transition in T2 can be with a close-up view of Benjamin Schocker. So this is where they'll be racing, and a bit disorganised at the start. Finally they get together. And by the time they reach the turn point, they'll be back together and in a tight pack, ready to accelerate around this 20k multi-lap course in downtown Târgu. Further back, the under 23 athletes are trying to get together. They've got a lot of work to do to try and catch anybody in that leading group. So here we are out on the bike course now. Good crowd supporting, lots of noise from the supporters. They all know what's going on. They've all been part of it in the morning, either racing or supporting, and now they have a chance to see how the elite race.
Cyclists on the first peloton.
Right towards the back, some of the younger athletes showing signs of the heat, and knowing that there's a good chance if they work together they could catch some of the athletes in front of them. Bit of a command there. Come on, help me, help me. Let's start chain ganging. One athlete goes to the front, the other one sits behind. They take about 10-15 seconds at the front, turn around, change those positions. And we can see the athletes are also indicating to each other if there's anything on the ground, like a manhole cover, taking it very carefully on the turns. And there we see at the back of this leading group, Vorontsev from Ukraine, a junior athlete, in a fantastic position. So, Lebert, French athlete, is aware that he has a 10-second penalty. And he needs desperately to make up time. In fact, he has made up time, and Lebert has broken away at the front. Wearing number 51, he is powering away. He makes a lead of about 15 seconds we were timing it as. So now the chase group is aware that Johan Lebert from France has broken away And on this out and back course they can see how much of an advantage he has. Initially there's an injection of pace as they try to work together to try and catch the French athlete. This is Laszlo Tarnay, the Hungarian athlete, out. His race over because of a technical problem. Peloton rushing through the city centre, great support from the crowds. Still with Lebert out in front. So Lebert at the far end of the turn, far away. You can see just what an advantage he has there over the leading group. They're gradually catching up on him. Back down to the city centre. Small groups broken away. So out on the course, Johan Lebert from France still leading, having broken away. But then, on the bike course, one of the motorcycle marshals sees the puncture. Lebert's punctured, he's out of the race. That lead has gone. So with that lead now gone from Lebert, it's all up for the medals with this leading peloton. The timing chip from Lebert is being handed now to the official. Lebert's race over. The medals are now going to be decided by that leading peloton. We now know that once the leading athletes are aware that Lebert is out of the race, the pace drops down a bit. In fact, one of the laps super fast, Lebert. Next lap is 30 seconds slower. And this view you see now is coming back down towards the city centre. And this is the far turn point up above the city. So our leading peloton making the turn right at the top of the city. All of the potential medal winners are in there.
elite, junior, and youth male and female.
Okay, so this is interesting because
So the leaders now coming through to take the bell.
Okay, so this is interesting because last one pass here.
There you go, the announcers have just picked up on the timing that the peloton is now 30 seconds slower than it was on the last lap as they enter the final long drag along the bottom of the city before they rise up the turn point high above the city, and they then come back in to dismount, run through the transition area, rack the bikes, and for the final 2.5k. So sensibly they're taking it easy now, and it means that the runners, the stronger runners, will be saving their legs for that final 2.5 kilometers. More and more of the athletes are now hearing the bell. They know they've got one lap to go. And having reached the turn point, they're now coming back down towards the city. With the action about to take place downtown and the dismount line ready. Crowds are aware that the athletes are coming. While some of the athletes still have one lap to go. And the dismount now. No mistake made here. Any mistake in this position and the penalty will be lost. And out onto the run course, it's the Spanish going immediately into the lead. The veteran, the world champion, 2 times world champion, the 1-time European champion, Martin, goes to the front. They're down now to the turn point towards the cathedral. And here we see Benjamin Choquer has broken away. He's put down the hammer, broken away from the leaders. Can he keep this pace up? Will they let him keep the pace up? Behind him, Emilio Martin and Van der Kasteel from Belgium. So the European champion out of the race now. It's down to Benjamin Choquer. Turn is done. He can see exactly where the opposition are. A long run down past the aid station. behind him. The remaining positions on the podium, silver and bronze, will be fought over. The lead now, something like 80 meters.
Well, guys, in the group after Shakira.
So Schocker looks like he's got the race sewn up, but behind him, what's going to happen for the medals, silver and bronze? Our lead bike looks over his shoulder. The lead athlete knows that the race is his. A look over his shoulder, the pace doesn't drop. Schocker is in command and he's flying, and he can see the blue carpet in the distance. He can hear the cheers. A nonchalant look over his shoulder. He knows he's got it. World champion becomes the European champion. Behind him, Emilio Martin has done enough to take the silver medal. It's a repeat of Pontevedra from the World Championships, and Van der Kasteel just wins the sprint with Marco Miguel from Portugal. The mixture of elite athletes, under 23s and juniors together, has given us a fantastic result there for the Ukrainian athlete Vitaly Vorontsov, who comes home to take the gold medal for the under 23 category. But in the space of just under 20 seconds, we see 11 athletes cross the finish line. So now you're seeing what happens when these finishes take place. We try and organise the athletes to get those wonderful 1, 2, 3 photographs.
It's the same level than the World Championship. I was 7 on the World Championship, now 5. It's okay. If I do a good transition, it's impossible to be third. So for me, it's a good result. Okay.
For France, please come here to the finish line.
The athletes were so fast across the finish line. For some of the categories, the under 23s and the juniors, it was impossible to get them with the finish tape. So a little bit of stage management gave us the photographs of the junior and the under 23 winners.
So please be there.
final injection of pace there from Eric Rogos from Romania. Had a tough race, but there he had some energy to fly over the finish line for the photographers. Currently the most successful of the junior athletes in the Romanian circuit. So our junior athletes there, Ukraine, Belgium and Ukraine. And this is our under-23 champion, Crillon-le-Bien from France.
Really good race. We have a little problem with the first of the team, Johan Lebert, who has a problem on bike. But after it was a good bike because there is no lot of attacks. It was a little bit slow, so it's good. And the second one really hard. It was hot, but good race. I'm very happy. And first international race and first international medal. First time for me in Romania. Good travel. Little bit complicated to come here, but good race. Really easy bike, but good for me.
So there we see our winner, Crillon-le-Bien from France, Arnaud Dely from Belgium, and Niels de Pas from the Netherlands.
Yeah, it was really nice, quite hot on the course, especially the run. On the bike was a big group, a lot of attacks, but nobody really got away. Lebert got away, but he had a mechanical, I'm not sure what it was, but I was looking at the other under 23 guys, because in Pontevedra I finished 4th, and now we're on the podium, so that was the goal. Yeah, great, a lot of people were cheering us on, so big up for Romania.
I'm from Belgium, I'm a junior, and I was just behind the first group in the run, so I tried to get in the first group on the bike, but it was really difficult. And together with Paul, we got try to get in the first group, and it worked. But the first guy of the juniors, he was really strong. I couldn't follow him in the second run, so I got second. I'm really happy. The best possible place I could get, so I'm really happy, and I left some elites behind me, so that's also great. So,
how do you like the city, the Romania people?
It's a bit different of in Belgium, but it's okay, and it's a little bit more house here, than Belgium, but the organization was well good. So.
Nice few words there from Gianni van der Broek from Belgium, silver medal winner in the junior race. And next up to the microphone will be our Spanish athlete runner-up in the elite men's race, Emilio Martin from Spain.
Soy Emilio Martín de España.
Hi, my name is Emilio Martin from Spain, and I came second in the elite men's race. It was a fast race at the beginning on the first 5k. Out on the bike, it was pretty tactical, not very fast. But that final 2.5k, it was just survival. So with the fast sprinting, at the end I managed to get another international medal. That makes 11 international medals, so I'm very happy with that. I'll take back with me some very good impression from Romania and from Târgu Mures in particular. So there you have it, your European champion Benjamin Choquer from France, silver Emilio Martin, and in bronze medal position Angelo Fonda Castello. Okay, the race is over. What happens next? We go to the medal ceremony.
Second place and a silver medal goes for Great Britain, Claudia Castle. Third place, the gold medalist and the new U23 2023 European champion goes to Spain, Mata Pintanel Raimundo. Champagne. Please go to ngstudio.ro from the Netherlands. Second place and the silver medals go to Belgium, Arnaud Dely. European champions from France, Crillon Le Bien. Yeah, thank you very much.
That's the elite and the juniors and the under-23s finished, and now the best part of the medal ceremony is for the age groupers. A huge army of athletes from all over Europe have come to downtown Târgu to race. The crowds are filling the medieval castle, and it was a real party atmosphere as the medals were handed out to gold, silver and bronze finishers. And it was Chris Kitchen, the Vice President of the European Triathlon Union, along with Peter Klosch, the President of the Romanian Triathlon Federation, who had the honours.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. 65 to 7 from Great Britain. I think it was former treasurer, yeah? Category Lucia Soranzo from Italy. Family photo! Yay! Bronze medalist is John Nguyen from Great Britain. Eloshi Georgi from Hungary. Well, at least somebody took responsibility.
And we saved the best till last. Maurice Young in the 85 to 89 category and Reinhold Wolter in the 80 to 84 category.
Was that Ursus or something else? Ursus spear or something else? No, okay. With the youngest Reinhold Wolter from Germany. Join us here on the stage with them.
And now let's get everybody on the stage. This is the group photograph for all the medal winners who raced.
Come here, Switzerland.
European medal winners, European champions. Fantastic memories to take home to the countries, to show to the families, friends, bosses.